All right, see if I can blow my back out. What do we have here? Oh yeah, welcome back to another video. A different little start to it there. So where do I start? Well, we'll just go over what this is, and then hopefully later in this video we'll go over more stuff, more parts. But here is a BorgWarner T10 out of a 76 Trans Am with a Hurst Competition Plus shifter. Got this from a friend of mine. He was kind enough to sell it to me because he did a 6-speed in his car. No, it's not a Trans Am. It was in his Chevelle. But I know it's in good working order. It's a good transmission and it's in good shape. So we're gonna clean on the input shaft a little bit just because it's been sitting for a few years in his garage. So we'll clean that up just a little bit with the wire wheel. Other than that, really just clean the trans out or the case off, and we'll change the oil and clean the shifter up, and this thing will be good to go. But yeah, so we may be 4-speed swapping this in the very beginning. So tune in on the rest of this video and we'll see how this transpires, because this video here, we should cut a clip and start our journey down to South Carolina to pick up the engine for that, as well as maybe some other stuff. So you'll have to keep watching, see what we come across. Very stoked to get this though. This is a huge piece of the puzzle to making that a 4-speed, and I do believe the bell housing Dad has that we initially got for the 55 Chevy, which we ended up going with the scatter-proof Lakewood bell housing. So the original aluminum style we weren't going to use, so that should be perfect for this. Then I'll need, clutch, pressure plate, and a flywheel, which that's not too bad. So anyway, I'm not sure what the next clip's going to be or what I'm going to show next, but hopefully we'll be in the car heading down to pick up the engine, or I should say in the truck, pick up the engine for this thing and hang out. So take you guys along for the ride. All right, what's up? Back in the garage. I know I mentioned, I think in the last clip, that film heading down to my buddies in South Carolina, but we literally went down for like a day and a half and came all the way back. It's like a 1,200 mile round trip. And we hung out while we were there, so I just wanted to enjoy time with some of our best friends and not be worried about filming. So we went down and hung out, picked up the engine for the Trans Am, which is huge, and even got to drive his Trans Am while we were down there, which was an absolute blast. Gives me a lot of inspiration to get this thing knocked out. Left off showing you guys I got the 4-speed for this, which I kind of wanted to keep it just tucked away until we got everything, but as we went down to buy the engine, my buddy's like, hey, my dad's got some 4-speed stuff if you're interested. So went ahead and just jumped on it. So now it looks like we'll just be going ahead and 4-speed swapping this thing. So as you can tell, the garage is a little bit of a mess up front here because we got home and I had to go do a bunch of stuff to get this unloaded out of the back of Dad's Suburban. And yeah, so we're gonna work on cleaning this up and organizing it, and then we'll go over what I got parts-wise and what I'll need to order, because I will be ordering parts for the Trans Am and the wife's 65 Beetle. So that way we'll finally be able to start getting progress knocked out here at home, which will be a lot of fun and a lot of good videos in the near future. So let's get this cleaned up, and then we'll go over what all I got, and be able to go over what I need as well. Okay, now that we got everything moved, this is what we're working with. Obviously the Borg-Warner Fine Spline T10, which I already showed. Got a flywheel, got the Z-bar, pedal cluster, and clutch rod. An factory intake, and a 4-speed center console. And after I've gotten to look at this, maybe the 4-speeds mount a little different, but I think this one might be for a Camaro on how it mounts, or unless they change them in 80 or an 81, because the mounting is a little different. But I don't know much about the 4-speed consoles compared to autos. Regardless, I'm gonna make it work, and I'm gonna get some vinyl spray and paint it black. And then here is the find that's gonna get us going. So it's a 78 400, or 77 or 70, now I can't remember. I think 78 400. It was running just fine, didn't even smoke, nothing, ran great. So, of course, someone had to paint it red, and you just don't do that with a Pontiac. It's just hideous. So I'm going to clean this thing up really nice and wire wheel all this nasty red paint off, and we will go through and repaint this thing. And I'll probably do it the correct blue that's supposed to be for these, which isn't the most appealing blue, but it is better than this nasty orangey red to make it look like a Chevy, which is awful. So we'll go through, get that thing painted up. That'll be in the future because we got a couple jobs to get knocked out first before we jump back on this thing. I've already got a video started on it, so that'll probably be the one up after this, because got the Black Beetle all finished up. It just needs wash, wax, and an oil change. So I'm stoked there. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So we'll go through this engine on another video when we're ready to start on it and start cleaning it up. Hopefully, since the weather's starting to break, it'll be nice to roll this thing outside, coat it down, blow it off, clean it up, wire wheel it, the whole 9 yards, and tape off what we need to tape off and get this thing painted. So yeah, sorry I didn't film anything going down there, but like I said, just wanted to enjoy our time there and be able to get this stuff and get back home and get back here to the shop and get started. So yeah, pretty stoked. It'll be awesome now that we got the engine we know runs. I think the only thing I'm going to do is a timing chain, gears, and a water pump. And other than that, she'll be ready to rock, and paint her up, and it'll be ready to toss in. So this car could get moving pretty quick. And I gotta weld the 4-speed hump into the tunnel, which, that doesn't take very long at all. So this ought to be a fun project to move forward on. I'll probably go ahead and do brakes and all that kind of stuff first before we get to the engine, but it's one of those things. We'll see when we get there. Got to get parts ordered and get everything in, and then we'll go from there. So I'm not going to ramble anymore, so let's see what we got next. Okay, was going to get some work done, but we were supposed to get some hail tomorrow, so I had to do some work getting some cars moved around, a couple of them covered up, and protect them from potential hail. Probably won't end up getting anything, so probably did it for nothing. So for the end of this video, I know it wasn't a whole lot, but we'll kind of go over what my next steps are, so you guys know what to expect in some upcoming videos, since I'm finally going to have some parts and should have some good videos actually making headway working on stuff for once. So got the engine pulled over here to get it out of the way for now. Just soaking on some bolts. I mentioned it prior, but I think what we're going to do is basically clean this entire thing up. I'll blow it off, and we'll probably get the wire wheel out and just wire wheel as much as I possibly can, and clean it up as good as we can. And I'll order some motor coater paint for it, And then I'll get a double roller timing chain. If you know Pontiacs, they're pretty notorious for, you know, losing timing chains, and I don't know what kind of shape this one's in. And I'm sure the water pump could use a replacing. It actually feels pretty decent, but, you know, while you're there, mazel. So we'll go ahead and swap a lid on all that stuff. That'll be nice, get that out of the way. Not sure if I'm gonna run the aluminum's intake or that factory original one I showed you guys. I'm not 100% yet. We will see. Definitely not running these hideous Edelbrock valve covers. I'll be getting a set of nice factory ones to throw on there to keep this thing looking as OG as possible. But first things first, and I don't know if it'll be in the next video yet. I don't think so, because the next video will be on another little project doing on the side, getting finished up. Like I said, I already started a video on it. So the future videos of the Trans Am will probably be getting this cleaned up as well as the transmission. So those two things will be getting cleaned up, get them all prettied up. The transmission should just really need a tail shaft seal since it's been sitting for a while, and we'll clean it up. I don't think anything else is leaking on it. When my buddy had that in his car, it was fine, and it's just kind of been chilling since. Still has gear oil in it, hasn't been leaking, so probably just do a tail shaft seal on it and call it a day. But as for now, I'm probably going to go ahead and end the video here. So look forward to the next video. It'll be a pretty cool project, and look forward to finally getting this thing going and getting all the parts in for it, like the brakes. What else? Brakes, hoses, you know, new gas tank, sending unit, all that good stuff. And then getting this thing swapped over for a 4-speed and getting the engine cleaned up and painted. That'll be a huge transformation. And then we'll have to definitely do some cleaning on this engine bay. Clean it up as nice as we can, get some of the black back. Won't go crazy on it. So but I guess the engine's gonna probably be the nicest thing. I don't know how I feel having like a patinaed engine bay with a super freshly painted engine. It's like I have mixed feelings about it. But at the end of the day, I'm not leaving the thing red. That's hideous, so we gotta paint it. So whatever, we'll have a nice fresh looking engine in there. But what do? Work with what we got. Got to make it look nice. I mean, it's out, and I've mentioned it a million times. It just can't be red or orange if it's a Pontiac. You can't do it. Just sacrilegious, blasphemy, all those things. So I also need to check on drive shaft. I know the yoke is a little bit bigger for the Borg Warners, so I don't know the length compared to a Turbo 350. I'm sure the manuals are a little bit shorter and require a different length shaft. But some of you Trans Am guys might be able to let me know down in the comments. I'm not 100% on what I will need to do for that. I may just try to score a 4-speed drive shaft for one of these. We'll see. Not too sure yet. Got to do a little bit of research, but got to get parts coming in first. Got to address some of the, you know, important things like brakes and fuel tank and getting the engine painted, trans cleaned up, new engine mounts in it, and blah, blah, blah. We'll go over that in a future video, but I'm done rambling. But anyway, it's cool. We got some of the major parts for this car now, at least some of the big ticket items. Now it's all the maintenance stuff. So we will see you guys in the next video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we are out.